We found that strength is the resistance from things that are kind of hard to resist, and the resistance from things that you're not supposed to be doing. We found that strength can be support from people, from God, and that strength can just be the power that you have over a situation. And we also learned that we don't gain strength through ourselves, and we don't really see strength as physical, right? And so a lot of times when we talk about strength on earth, we talk about, oh, Amari has muscles. Oh, Imani doesn't have muscles, so she's not strong. And that's not the strength that we're talking about in this show. We're talking about the mental capacity to bear a lot of things at one time, or the ability to say, you know what, I'm rising above this situation, which ironically has something to do with our show.
Yes. Hashtag coming up taller.
Hashtag coming up taller. That's an inside joke. Okay.
Yes.
If you come to the show, you'll understand though. So yeah, we're gonna just hop right in. We don't have as long as we normally have because this is the pre-recording.
Yes.
But I promise you'll still get everything out of this that you would have gotten out of this if it was a full hour. So today, I'll be reading from Psalm chapter 18, and I'll probably be reading 10 verses instead of the 16 that I wanted to read. You guys know I love long verses, but I'll try to cut it down to 10. The Lord has dealt with me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands, he has rewarded me. For I kept the ways of the Lord. I am not guilty of turning from my God. All his laws are before me. I have not turned away from his decrees. I have been blameless before him and have kept myself from sin. The Lord has rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. To the faithful you show yourself faithful. To the blameless you show yourself blameless. To the pure you show yourself pure. But to the devious you show yourself shrewd. You save the humble, but bring low those whose eyes are haughty. You, Lord, keep my lamp burning. My God turns my darkness into light. With your help, I can advance against a troop. With my God, I can scale a wall. And we'll stop there, actually. So that was 9 verses. And so I really picked this verse. Sorry, I'm trying to go back to it. I really picked this verse because I feel like the word strength doesn't have to be explicitly stated in text for us to realize what strength is. So more than strength over ourselves and over the sins that we do and like all of that, the strength to bear a lot of things and the strength to see when you're wrong, to be able to pick out when God is stepping in and giving you that support is the strength that I'm really interested in, because that is the strength that I'm looking to gain, right? And like we say all the time, this show is not only for the people listening, we are learning along with you guys. Like, I'm only 17. It's weird to say I'm 17 because I feel like I'm still like 15, but I'm 17, right? And so like all of this, we're learning together. We're looking up these scriptures and doing our own research before we bring it to you guys. And we're learning new things every day along with you guys. And so I think that it's really important to realize that these are not things that we've achieved, but they're things that we're working toward.
Yes.
Cool.
All right, so now we can go to breaking it down.
He's rushing me.
I'm not, kind of, but whatever.
Verse 20, the Lord has dealt with me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands, he has rewarded me. And I'm looking up the word righteousness because I want to make sure that I'm using it in the right context before I define it.
All right.
Okay, so I don't agree with that definition. 1 second while I look at another one. Okay. Acting in accord with divine or moral law. Free from guilt or sin, morally right or justifiable. So the Lord has dealt with me against to my being morally right, going in the path of the divine things that are morally right. And according to the cleanness of my hands, he has rewarded me. And so I want to start this off by saying, sorry, it's getting warm. I want to start this off by saying that this scripture is not about being perfect.
No.
And so it's very easy to feel intimidated by the fact that this guy is like, I'm being rewarded for my righteousness and for the cleanness of my hands. And like, oh, I've never done anything wrong in my entire life. But that's not what this is. This is saying, when I am righteous, I'm rewarded for it. When I keep myself in good company, when I know that a lot of times people are kind of confused about the cleaning of hands. But if you think about when Jesus, when they made the decision to crucify Jesus, and then Julius Caesar said, well, I'm cleansing my hands of this because I don't want to have anything to do with this, right? This was all the people. So when you cleanse, when your hands are clean, basically you're saying, I have nothing to do with this situation. I am not in the blame. I have nothing to do with this. And so you're not guilty. And so this person is saying that when I am all of these things, God is rewarding me for that.
Right. And then you go back to biblical times in general, you know, they didn't have like bathrooms like we have. It wasn't often that somebody just stopped and washed their hands. That wasn't a really common thing. So to have clean hands was a sign that you were a good person or that you didn't do much work or anything like that. So, you know, it was considered a good thing to have clean hands. And so this is kind of where that scripture draws from as well.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think he has anything to say. Sorry that we're yawning. You guys, we're not bored. We're just tired.
Yes.
And if you come see our show tomorrow, you'll know why. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug number 3.
Verse 21. For I have kept the ways of the Lord. I am not guilty of turning from my God. And so this is a continuation of him saying that. So he's righteous, right? He has clean hands and he hasn't turned away from God. He's kept all of these commandments and he's kept all of these rules and, you know, regulations and followed in the footsteps that he's supposed to be following in. And because of that, he's being rewarded and he's being blessed.
That was a pretty straight to the point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
cool. I hope it doesn't seem like we're rushing, guys. We're not. All his laws are before me. I have not turned away from his decrees. I have been blameless before him and have kept myself from sin.
So that one's kind of like him kind of expounding on it even more, giving the exact things that he's done. You know, he's been blameless. You know, he doesn't have any guilt because he's done nothing wrong.
Right.
So
and when we say done nothing wrong, again, no human is perfect but Jesus.
Yeah, no.
And in this scripture is in Psalm, which means that we're before Jesus came. So this is not a perfect human being, but this is somebody saying that I've worked my hardest to do everything that I can do to be right. And when I didn't, I repented. And that's why his hands are clean, right? Because he repented. And when you repent, that doesn't mean that everything that you did goes away. But everything that you did is essentially forgiven, right? If you're repenting in the correct way. So I think it's very important not to be turned off by the seemingly perfectness of this person or, oh, I could never be blameless in front of God. I think that that's something that we should strive for and not be afraid of. Okay,
absolutely.
Cool. And then he says, again, the Lord has rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. So as we know, Psalm is like full of like poems and songs. Yeah. And so sometimes the things are repetitive and they mean the same thing. But when you think about, and I would have to do more research on this, right? But when you think about the way that things were translated from like Greek to this, to that, to this.
Yeah.
This could have said something completely different, right?
We
misinterpreted it. So I doubt that he literally again said, the Lord has rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. He probably used different adjectives, but in English we don't have that, right? And so the same meaning applies is I am being rewarded because I'm doing things right.
Yes.
And my hands are clean and I have tried to go in the most correct path as possible. And it's working out for me.
And even if you go back to what you said about it being a poem, you can kind of think of that verse as like his chorus.
Yeah,
exactly. You know, the thing he keeps going back to.
Yeah.
The chorus of a song is there to drive the song and remind the writer of the song and the singer of the song what the main purpose of this song is. Yeah. You know, sometimes, well, I personally have written music and lyrics, but sometimes you need that chorus to remind yourself what it is you're writing about so that your verse doesn't go too off or so that you know what type of music you want in the background. And so this is kind of like that. He's putting that verse constantly in here again and again so he knows what this scripture is going to be about.
Yeah. You've been pretty quiet. You okay over there?
Yes, I'm totally fine.
Cool.
I
think he's all talked out from last week.
Right. Oh yeah, you guys did talk a lot last week without me. How was that?
That was pretty scary.
Very scary.
You talk a lot.
Yeah.
We weren't ready.
Yeah,
we weren't ready.
We just wasn't.
Wow. He said that, guys. I was missed. I missed you guys too. Not him, but
Oh.
you know.
She didn't mean that.
I did. To the faithful, you show yourself faithful. To the blameless, you show yourself blameless. To the pure, you show yourself pure. But to the devious, you show yourself shrewd. And let me look up the definition of shrewd so I can give you guys the correct.
I believe shrewd is something like.
It sounds like a mushroom.
It's not a mushroom. I seriously doubt it's a
having
mushroom.
or showing sharp powers of judgment or astute, piercingly cold. So, to the faithful God, I'm going to insert God here. To the faithful God, you show yourself faithful. And to the blameless God, you show yourself blameless. To the pure God, you show yourself pureless. You show yourself pure, but to the devious, you show very hard judgment on these people, right? You show yourself shrewd. So, yeah, that's what that is. And so I think that is kind of the way that Christians see God in general, right? If I do this, I receive this. If I do this, I receive this. If I do this, I receive this. When I'm righteous, you give me blessings. When my hands are clean, you reward me, right? When I'm faithful, you show me faithfulness. When I'm blameless, you show me blamelessness. Is that a word? Sure, we're going to make it a word. And when I'm being pure, you're showing me pure, right? But when I'm being devious, you're going to show me this judgment. And so I think that the goal is to not be afraid of that, you know? A lot of times as Christians, we make all the right decisions because we don't want to go to hell. I think that that's very wrong. To say, you know what, I'm going to do everything right just because I don't want to go to hell. Not I'm going to do everything right because this is morally right. Not I'm going to feed the homeless because I don't like to see people hungry. Right. Not I'm going to go and tutor these young children for free because I want them to succeed in life, but because I know that if I do this, I'm going to get this reward.
Right.
And I think that it's very important and probably not what the text means at all, but what I'm taking from it is that we do need to have an understanding of when we do right, we will receive right. Completely, yes, that's what will happen. But should we be doing right to receive right? If that makes sense.
No. And
it doesn't make sense?
No, as in it does make sense, but the answer is no.
With you.
Okay.
Yes.
I got scared.
It's pretty ironic. So in my English class, we're reading the letter that Dr. Martin Luther King sent while he was in prison after being arrested for protesting and things like that. And in his letter, he actually talks about, there is such a thing as doing the right thing for the wrong reasons, and how that makes your actions just as wrong, Yeah. How they were enforcing the law, which was right, but because they were doing so in such an immoral manner that made it wrong. And so that's kind of what the scripture is getting at too, and what Imani was getting at.
Exactly. I'm so glad I have someone who understands what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that.
Yes.
And then the last couple of verses, you save the humble, but bring low those whose eyes are haughty. You, Lord, keep my lamp burning. My God turns my darkness into light. With your help, I can advance against the troop. With my God, I can scale a wall. And so that's when we kind of hop into this understanding of strength, right? And so it's saying that you save people who are humble, but those arrogant people, you're going to knock them down, right? It says you bring low the eyes. And I don't know about anybody else, but I know that when you die, your eyes close. So that's kind of what I took for that. I don't know. But that's what I got from that, right? And so I don't want to die, so not going to be haughty. And then it says, you, Lord, keep my lamp burning. And I think that that's very important because a lot of times we see God as this person above us who's making us do this, and we're only doing this, like I said, to go to heaven. And so, he's just such a harsh God, and sometimes I just want to be able to have fun, and and blah blah blah. But in reality, like, God is supposed to be that motivation that makes you want to do better, not because you want to go to heaven, but because you want to do better. Right.
Right.
And I think it's very important to notice that in this writing, he says, you keep my lamp burning, right? Not the money that I get from doing this, not all the glory and the fame that I get from doing this, not the fact that I'm going to probably go to heaven after doing this, but just knowing that I got somebody supporting me, I have somebody giving me that strength, that's what keeps my lamp burning. And that's kind of what I wanted to get from this verse, is that we should be motivated to continue doing what we're doing because we have that support, because we have that strength from God.
Virgil?
I'm sorry, I'm speechless.
Go ahead, Amari.
Okay. So kind of going back to that, another way to take it is that trying to give an example, but fire is kind of like its own kind of living thing in the same sense that it requires a lot. You know, it requires oxygen, it requires something to burn, something to feed off of, and so keeping a fire alive is quite, I know this because we have a fireplace, but keeping a fire alive is it's actually a pretty hard job. And so to say that God keeps your fire alive is basically to say that he provides, you know, for you everything that you need so that you can keep burning.
Good analogy.
Cool.
Thank you.
So we're done with my verse, and now we're gonna hop into our next box of some kind of surprise segment that Amari won't tell me about.
Yes.
So
Okay, this is gonna be
1, 2, 3, hop.
Hop. This is pretty funny. Okay,
Okay.
Virgil. What's gonna happen is I call this Imani's March Minute Madness.
March
no.
Minute Madness.
March Minute Madness.
Oh,
So Virgil
boy.
is going to name a sport, and Imani has 1 minute to tell us as much as she knows about that sport.
Oh my God.
Guys, this is going to be hilarious.
Wow, I'm
Oh,
doing
man.
this to you guys next week.
Oh man,
Something
fine.
you guys would know
that's
nothing about.
that's fine.
Okay, Virgil, pick a
I got a
sport.
lot of sisters, so
Oh
come
my
at me.
God.
All right, football.
Well, okay. Went easy on her. Okay.
Did you start it?
No? Can you pull up a minute on your phone, Virgil? Or Imani?
Okay.
I got it. No. You the contestant. What?
I'm
Yeah.
very
Tryna-
nervous. Oh my
Trying to
gosh.
cheat?
Why would he
So
do
should
this?
I ask you questions, or do you want to try and come up with it on your own?
I'll just come up with stuff, and then when I run out of things to say, you can ask me questions.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
Okay, cool. We can do that.
All right, 2 minutes then.
Okay. Did you start it?
Go.
Okay.
Go.
There's that guy Odell. He plays football.
Okay, yes.
And then you can make a touchdown.
You can make a touchdown.
And then there's something about kicking. You can kick a ball through a thing, and it looks like this.
What is the name of that thing?
A yard.
No.
Okay,
Try something else.
Yeah, there are quarterbacks,
There are
Yes,
quarterbacks.
there are
and there are
quarterbacks.
linebackers,
There are
Yes, there are
linebackers.
linebackers.
and there's a lot of running.
Okay.
And their pants are really tight. And they wear cleats like soccer players, but they're not soccer players. But football is called soccer in France and Spain.
In everywhere but America.
Hey, shut
right.
up. That counts as one.
Right. All right.
They you
Let
can
me start.
tackle.
You can't tackle.
You can't dance across the line unless you're playing professionally or you get the flag thing.
Right. That's true.
Okay.
Okay.
People mess their heads up a lot and they get concussions and then
That's true.
they go crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready for
more
the questions.
questions. How many points is a touchdown worth?
9,
No.
No.
7.
No.
5.
No.
What the heck?
You literally skipped around the
right,
number.
you skipped all around
10.
the number.
No.
6.
Yes.
What?
A touchdown is worth 6 points. However, after you get a touchdown, okay, there are 2 options.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
can kick it
Or
or you can run it somewhere that's not.
All right. Biggest question: who won the Super Bowl this year?
the Packers. the Celtics. I don't know.
The Celtics. Oh my God.
Who won the Super Bowl.
okay, how many points is last question? How many points is a field goal worth?
What is a field goal?
Oh,
All
my
right.
God.
Is that when you
That's
kick it?
it.
That
That's
ends
it.
our
Oh, wait,
segment.
7.
No.
No.
3.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that the kick?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so what's this thing called?
A field goal.
Yes.
This
That's
is
exactly what it's called. Also,
Yes, that was-
Celtics is a basketball team.
Celtics is a basketball team. I don't know where you got that
Patriots
from.
won this year.
The Patriots, the
I
New
was supposed to
England,
the Packers.
the New England Patriots
Right.
won this year's
New
Super Bowl.
England?
Yeah.
Yes.
New England.
New England plays in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yes.
thought
New
that was
England is American.
Yes.
Oh
God.
my gosh.
Well, guys, as we can tell, it's time for me to go to sleep.
We like to have
Whoa.
fun.
That was
On this
fun.
show.
That was
Oh
this
fun.
my,
was-
that
that was-
wow.
This was incredibly fun. Wow.
Oh, that was embarrassing. Oh my god, I can't believe you did that to me.
I probably should have chose.
That's
like,
why I didn't tell her about it
I probably
because
should've
she
said
would have
baseball.
absolutely said.
See
Oh,
what
if you
happened.
would have said baseball, that would have been the longest 2 minutes of your life. 'Cause
Yes.
I literally know nothing.
But yeah, we plan on starting off with the easy sports. So next week will probably be basketball.
Yeah, basketball.
Oh, I know basketball.
Do you
I
really?
I probably should have said basketball since it's March Madness.
I know March
Right,
Madness is
yeah,
coming up. I
yeah.
know that much.
All right, gonna hop into our next box now.
Wow.
Which
I'm
is
so embarrassed. I just want to turn and face the wall right now. Okay.
which is my scripture,
Yay.
Awesome.
which is Job, verse 12, chapter 12, verses 13 through 25.
25.
No,
No.
through 13 through.
Amari, make it a
Okay,
Amari's the worst decision maker.
I'll stop when I want to stop. How about that? Okay.
No.
Yes.
Fine.
All right. So,
Guys, I need tissues. I'll be back.
all right.
Okie dokie.
Just going to read my scripture. To God belongs wisdom and power. Counsel and understanding are his. What he tears down cannot be rebuilt. Those he imprisons cannot be released. If he holds back the waters, there will be drought. If he lets them loose, they will devastate the land. To him belong the strength and insight. Both deceived and deceiver are his. He leads rulers away stripped. He leads rulers away stripped and makes fools of judges. He takes off the shackles and put on by kings and ties the lion's cloth around their waist. Nope. He leads priests away stripped and overthrows officials long established. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
silences the lips of trusted advisors and takes away discernment of elders. I think that's where I'll stop. So from the beginning again.
I love this book. I love
Job,
this.
yeah.
Yes, I love it. I love it so much.
To God belongs wisdom and power. Counsel and understanding are his. What he tears down cannot be rebuilt. Those he imprisons cannot be released. If he holds back the waters, there is drought. If he lets them loose, they will devastate the land. To him belong the strength and insight. Both deceived and deceiver are his. He leads rulers away stripped and makes fools of judges. He takes off the shackles put on by kings and ties lion cloths around their waist. He leads priests away stripped and overthrows officials long established. He silences the lips of trusted advisors and takes away the discernment of elders. All right. Verse by verse now. Cool. To God belong wisdom and power. Counsel and understanding are his.
Please repeat it.
That
Yes,
is
I'll repeat it. To God belong wisdom and power. The counsel and understanding are his.
I think that is a very important verse for now, because a lot of times in the days and times that we are in right now, people are very distraught about who we have in power,
Quote unquote.
when really there's one person in power. And if we just realize that he already knows what's going to happen, he has all the wisdom, he has all the counsel, that anything that's happening is for his plan, right? Then we can really not be distraught and not be so in this depressed state, I think.
All right. What he tears down cannot be rebuilt. Those he imprisons cannot be released. This kind of go back to what I was talking about last week, how God is the most powerful ever. Point blank. Period. No reason to go farther. Himani, anything to say on this verse?
Yes, actually, I think that as teenagers, hopefully teenagers are watching the show. Hi, teenagers.
Hey.
As teenagers, it's very uncomfortable a lot of times to acknowledge that somebody has full power over you, and that's why we bump heads a lot with authority.
Yeah,
a
lot.
But you don't want to bump heads with God.
No.
So
No.
just get over that uncomfortableness, if that's a word. I create a lot of words on this show.
Yes.
Get over that and realize that it's okay for him to be in control because he just wants what's best for you. Hashtag coming up taller.
Right.
If he holds back the waters, there's drought. If he lets them loose, they devastate the land.
And that just adds to our understanding of everything that's happening, he's doing, right?
Yes.
So when he holds back the waters, there's drought, right? If he decides to let it go, it can be a storm. He has to know exactly how much of anything to do, right? Right now, if you wanted to, the whole Pacific Ocean, I don't even know where that is, but the whole Pacific Ocean could just like flood the whole world.
Yeah.
But he knows exactly, and that adds to our understanding of his power, is that he's controlling just how much the waves hit the shores, right? He's just controlling how much
of everything. Like, that's something that's always gonna throw me off, the precision that God like does everything with. Like, for instance, like it says in this verse, if it doesn't rain enough, there's drought and we die. If it rains too much, we drown and we die. Like, there's so much precision in everything that he does. There's an exact number of trees that need to be on this planet for all of us to breathe, and there is, and if the earth was 6 inches more close to the sun, we'd all probably die. If it was 6 inches farther, it'd probably be a lot colder. Like, a lot of things are like extremely precise when it comes to God.
It just makes me think about I think the movie is called Evan Almighty, when he's trying to
impress his girlfriend, and he like pulls down the moon.
And he pulls on the moon. He like kills everything.
Right, there's like a whole bunch of tsunamis and storms and stuff.
He tries to answer everybody's prayers and emails. It's just great
it's
because
just,
it's like how much power does God have that humans can't even handle it for a day, for 24 hours?
Right.
And he answers everyone's prayer. He's like, yes.
He's just like, and then the whole world just goes wild.
And it's a mess.
It's just crazy.
To him belongs strength and insight. Both deceived and deceiver are his. I think this verse is talking about how no matter what side you're on, whether your actions are just, whether your actions are unjust, God will handle you in the appropriate manner.
And you belong to him whether or not you're accepting that or not.
Yes.
I think is very important.
All right. He leads rulers away stripped and makes fools of judges. Actually, I think I'll read the next one too. He leads rulers away stripped and makes fools of judges. He takes off the shackles put on by kings and ties lion claws around their waist.
That just adds to kind of what my verse was talking about, in that the haughty he will bring down, right?
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of times when people in power have to be humbled because they want to put themselves above God and they want to do this. And I think that a lot of times God does choose who he puts in power, and then he like, hold on, you getting a little I'm gonna have to humble you. And so I think that's he humbles them publicly because then they get their act together. Mostly.
But just kind of some context for verse 18. He takes off shackles put on by kings and ties a lion cloth around their waist. Lion cloths are like just cloths that go around your waist, and that's all you wear. Kings we're known for like wearing really extravagant silks and suits and things like that. And so for them to just be in a lion cloth would be like if
a regular person.
If Obama was just walking around
in
some boxers or something.
Right, walking around in boxers. You'd be like, dude, you were the former president. Why aren't you wearing a suit? So it's like,
question mark?
Next verse. He leads priests away, stripped, and overthrows officials long established. I wanted to get into that one.
Can you say that one more time?
Yes. He leads priests away stripped and overthrows officials long established.
I love that verse.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, a lot of times people try to invalidate Christianity because of the corruptness of the people. And so, like, if you just read in your history books how corrupt, like, the priests were and the monks were, and just everybody was taking advantage of everybody, people will say, see, Christians are just no good. And you have these long established leaders who do really bad things, and then people are like, see, we told y'all Christianity is just not the move. And so this is saying, like, if you're long established and you were like the big kahuna or whatever, and you do the wrong thing, that don't matter. It doesn't matter to me how long you've been here. Right. Once you start ruining the name of Christianity, and once you go against the word that you promised to teach, and once you change the perception of what Christianity is, he'll get you away too. He says he strips the priest. That's big.
That's big.
That's big, because you think that once you're in God's grace, you can do whatever you want.
Right, and that's not true at all.
Not at all. So, yeah, I think that should be the last verse.
And I feel like that was definitely a scripture for the times going on now. Just a reminder that God is always in control, no matter what, has all of the power.
Yes.
Okay.
I told a fib, but not a big fib. So on the clock there, it says 11:55. But on this clock, it says 11:50.
Yeah, so it's cool.
So we have 5 more minutes.
Which means I have time to talk about me. That sounds selfish, but it's not. Because remember, I told you I was going to tell you how my name is. So my name is Amari, and in Arabic, it means powerful. So my full name is Amari Gabriel. Gabriel means man of God. So my full name means powerful man of God. However, I found out something else that is really interesting. My name, Amari, again, means strength in Yoruba, which is a Western African language. I believe it's broken off from Bantu. And so it's spoken a lot in Western Africa, places like Nigeria, and places west of there. I'm not really sure the exact locations other than Nigeria of where it's spoken, but there are about 30 million or so people that speak it. So, hey.
Yeah, that's cool. I know a little history about my name too.
Oh, go ahead.
So I was named after my father, but the originality of my name came from Greek. So, Virgil, there's like famous philosophers, stuff like that. But I actually looked into the name and seeing what it was and what it means. It means like staff, or like staff bearer, or beholder of something that's like very, fancy, or in particular, like, I don't know, like a guard of something. That's what my name mean. There's also other things that's saying like strong and courageous. So I guess it's somewhere in between in there, like strong beholder of something that's strong and courageous. So
all right,
that's what my name means. Imani?
Well, I always talk about my name.
Yeah.
But we can talk about it again. My name is Imani Simone, and Imani means faith in Swahili, and Simone means the Lord hears in some language that I don't know. Actually, I look into that. But so my full name means faith, the Lord hears. And so I don't know why we're talking about this, but it's very important.
Yes.
Anyways.
We encourage you to find out what your name means.
Yes.
And if your name doesn't mean anything, define it.
Yes, give your own self a definition.
And put it on Google. And then it means that.
And then become
what you define it
You're
as.
done. No.
All right.
So we have had a lot of fun this morning. I missed doing the show last week. I really did. I was all at home, all sad and stuff, and bored, listening to them bore you guys to death because they're so boring.
Wow. I'm sure kidding. You guys had a fun time, right? Yeah, that's clap there. The bros, we killed it. Trust me.
Right.
Right.
Anyways, I know you guys missed me last week, and I'm so glad to be back. I'm really glad to be back doing this show. And just a reminder that you guys can always ask us questions using the hashtag #AskTheTwins. When we get back to live recordings, please feel free to give us a call. We love hearing from you guys.
Yes.
And I think that's all that we need to say. Anything from anybody else?
No.
Adios.
All right. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys
so
next week. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening.
Make sure to check in with us next week, Saturday at 7:30.
Only on Worship Radio Detroit.